Andrew Holness versus Mark Golding. Who is smarter? When it comes to leadership in Jamaica, one question always sparks debate. Who's smarter? Prime Minister Andrew Holness or opposition leader Mark Golding? For years, Jamaicans have compared the two men not just in terms of policies or political loyalty, but also in raw intelligence and strategy. Both men bring different strengths to the table, but the real question is, who actually has the sharper edge? Jamaican politics isn't just about party colors or manifestos. It's also about the individual brain power and decision-making of those at the top. Leaders are judged not only on their education or background, but also on how they handle crises, lead their parties, and connect with the people. That's why this comparison is so important, because in many ways, the future of Jamaica depends on the kind of smarts our leaders bring. In this video, we're breaking down Holness versus Golding across 4 categories: academic and professional background, political strategy and leadership style, decision-making and public image, and finally, how Jamaicans themselves measure intelligence. By the end, you'll get to decide who really comes out on top. Academic and professional backgrounds. Andrew Holness has always stood out academically. He was head boy and valedictorian at St. Catherine High School, a sign of both leadership and discipline from early on. He went on to the University of the West Indies, Mona, where he earned a Bachelor of Science in Management Studies and later a Master of Science in Development Studies. Most recently, in May 2025, Holness was awarded a Doctor of Law and Policy from Northeastern University in Boston, with his dissertation focused on the impact of U.S. gun laws on violence in Jamaica. To add to his academic recognition, he also received an Honorary Doctor of Humane Letters from Delaware State University in 2024. Mark Golding's academic journey is equally impressive, but very different in focus. After attending Mona Prep and Campion College, he furthered his secondary education in the UK at Marlborough College. He went on to Oxford University, where he graduated with first-class honors in law, placing him among the top of his peers. Returning to Jamaica, he attended the Norman Manley Law School, where he won the prize for the most outstanding student in his graduating class. Not stopping there, Golding earned a Commonwealth Scholarship to the University of London, where he specialized in commercial and corporate law. He was called to the Jamaican bar in 1990, officially beginning his legal career. When comparing their academic profiles, Holness has built his expertise in policy, economics, and development, capped off with his recent doctorate that ties directly into governance and national security. Golding, on the other hand, represents the gold standard of legal training, with international recognition from Oxford and London, and a proven track record as a top scholar. Both men are undeniably brilliant. Holness brings practical governance and policy analysis, while Golding brings deep legal scholarship and corporate law expertise. Political strategy and leadership style. Holness has been described as pragmatic and forward-thinking. He emphasizes big infrastructure projects, technology-driven governance, and bold reforms like education changes and housing developments. His political strategy relies on positioning himself as a modernizer, the leader who builds, creates, and takes Jamaica into the future. Some see this as visionary, while others criticize it as top-down decision-making. Golding, in contrast, has a quieter but more analytical approach. He listens carefully, avoids rash decisions, and takes a consensus-driven route in his leadership style. His reputation as a careful thinker makes him appeal to Jamaicans who want a steady, balanced hand at the wheel. However, this same cautiousness has also been seen as indecisiveness, with critics suggesting that he sometimes struggles to take bold political stances when needed. The clash in styles is clear. Holness is the bold risk-taker, while Golding is the cautious strategist. When it comes to political smarts, Holness's ability to dominate the national conversation and push his agenda is impressive, but Golding's methodical approach shows a different kind of intelligence, one rooted in patience and careful calculation. Decision-making and public image. Public perception of a leader's intelligence often comes down to how they act in times of crisis. Holness has proven himself to be decisive, taking strong stances during emergencies like natural disasters and the COVID-19 pandemic. However, his firmness sometimes comes across as authoritarian, with critics accusing him of being too controlling or dismissive of dissent. His intelligence is displayed through his quick decision-making and ability to push through challenges, but it also raises questions about balance. Golding, meanwhile, presents himself as more collaborative. He prefers to consult and deliberate before arriving at conclusions, which can make him appear more democratic. Still, this same approach sometimes weakens his image in the eyes of the public, who often see strong and fast decision-making as a sign of leadership. While Holness may appear more decisive, Golding's intelligence lies in his measured and thoughtful responses, which aim to avoid costly mistakes. In terms of public image, Holness has successfully branded himself as the builder and the doer, while Golding is viewed as the thinker and the legal mind. The question is, what kind of intelligence do Jamaicans value more, the boldness of Holness or the caution of Golding? The people's perception of smarts. For everyday Jamaicans, intelligence isn't always about degrees or business ventures. Many define smarts as street sense, the ability to connect with ordinary people, and the skill to navigate Jamaica's tough social and political environment. In this area, Holness and Golding are judged very differently. Holness is often seen as polished but somewhat distant, while Golding is sometimes criticized for not fully resonating with the grassroots. Holness has mastered the art of mass communication, using speeches, technology, and projects to show progress. His intelligence shows in his ability to brand himself as the face of Jamaica's development. Golding, meanwhile, has leaned on his legal background and corporate success to present himself as someone capable of bringing order and justice. However, many Jamaicans still question whether he can connect deeply enough with the people outside his core base. At the end of the day, intelligence in politics is measured by results. Holness has proven his smarts in governance and national projects, while Golding's intellectual depth and financial expertise set him apart as a thinker. But the real verdict lies with the Jamaican people, because in politics, it's not just about who's smarter on paper, but who's smarter at winning hearts and minds. So who's smarter, Andrew Holness or Mark Golding? The answer depends on what kind of intelligence you value most. Holness has shown brilliance in political survival, bold decision-making, and national branding. Golding, on the other hand, demonstrates intellectual sharpness in law, business, and careful analysis. Both men are smart, but in very different ways. As Jamaica stands at a political crossroads, this comparison matters more than ever. Intelligence isn't just about who can win debates, but who can guide Jamaica through its toughest challenges. Some will argue Holness has proven himself with bold projects, while others will say Golding's depth and legal mind make him the true intellectual leader. But now it's your turn. Who do you think is smarter, Andrew Holness or Mark Golding? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is one debate that Jamaicans won't stop having anytime soon.